Hi everybody, and welcome to the next video. This video is going to be how do you powder coat at home. I've never done powder coating, but I'm about to try. So come along, have a look, see how it goes. Hi there, yeah, so for Christmas, my lovely young wife and my stepson bought me a powder coating kit. Interesting. Something I've really been interested in for a little while. Never really got involved with it, but they bought me this kit. So now I've collated a lot of the other bits and pieces that you're going to need in order to be successful at powder coating, and I'm going to have a little go at powder coating at home, DIY. So this video is to show anybody that's thinking of the same type of thing what's involved, how you do it, the mistakes you make, and what it looks like when it's finished. So come along, let's have a look, have a laugh. So here is the powder coating kit that I was bought for Christmas. It's a DIY one, and I know a lot of you professional guys will probably be tutting and looking up into the sky, but I don't really think there's that many professional guys that would actually be watching this. So let's have a look at what you have to do and what you get. Here's the contents of the box, the instructions, the one thing that most blokes don't bother with, but obviously I'm going to, don't be daft. And then you get all of the equipment. I'm just going to drag it out and then you can see what it looks like. So here is the contents of the box. You've got the control unit, which is fairly straightforward. On the back of the control unit you've got a voltage adjuster. We've got two cups, which is where I assume you put the powder, the switch that you can tread on to activate the electronic side of the kit. You've got the ground wire which you attach to the product. You've got the gun, the all-important gun with the deflectors on it. You get a couple of other deflectors in the kit, so you can change that. And then you get this, and you get this bit here, which is designed to bolt on the bottom of the gun and trap water from the air supply. I've got a couple of them actually, which are probably a bit better than that one. Alright, so I think one of the important things about doing anything like this is you've got to make sure that you've got places to put things. So I've made that place to hang the gun so that when I've finished powder coating I can hang the gun up and it's out the way, so I'm not going to tread on it or break myself or break the gun itself by treading onto it. That there is where I'm going to hang the product from. I'm only going to be painting things like carburetor bodies or a couple of calipers that I've got to do. This shows you an item that I'm going to be powder coating at some point. Notice how it's suspended from the string by a metal S-shaped hook. You can just about see that, I suppose. Fucking camera can't pick it up. That's where you put the ground wire. You can put the ground wire on that. The product is then electrified by that, and then you can stand next to it and paint it with the powder. Now, what I'm going to do is all of the background I'm going to make a booth so that the powder doesn't just fly away everywhere. The powder will then be contained within an area, fall onto the floor, so that it can then be collected and either A, reused, or B, easily got rid of. So let's do that and then I'll show you what it looks like then. Notice now how I've made a booth. Stretch that across there, which means that when I'm painting the product, all of the powder is going to be hitting the back and then falling down onto the floor. I've tidied the floor up, put this bit of wood here. I'm going to cover the wood with a a cover so that the powder will fall onto the cover, then it can be easily be disposed of or reused or whatever. I don't know yet whether it's reusable, but the beauty of it is the product that's going to be painted is in effectively a booth. Also, my little heater is pumping away. That is a beautiful heater. It's actually nice and warm in here now, which means that when I'm painting, powder coating, the air will be nice and warm, so you won't get lots of condensation, hopefully. Yeah, so this is all experimentation. I don't really know 100% if this is the correct way of doing it or what I'm doing, whether it's correct or wrong or whatever, but that's the idea of this video, to show you what I do, and then if it works, brilliant. If they don't, then you know what not to do. Alright, so let's go to the next stage, setting up the equipment. Here is the item that we're going to powder coat. I've put some pressure sensitive high temperature masking tape basically on the back. If you can see, it's that green tape. I'll tell you something, I'm not very happy with it. It doesn't stick very well. Actually, I've heat it. I've hung it up via the hook, put the ground wire on the end like that, and I've run the ground wire up so that it doesn't come anywhere near the actual powder coating. Right, here we are then, all set up. Let's see if we can get it to go. So here is the item once it's been powder coated. Initially, don't look too bad. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, that's no good. It's bumpy as anything. It's got all bits in it. They're not bits as in imperfections. It's like the powder coating has not adhered properly. It's bubbled up. So I've done something wrong, haven't I? I've done something wrong. I've either put too much on, I've not cooked it for long enough, cooked it at the wrong temperature. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to have another go. So let's see what I've done wrong. I'll try a few different methods and see if I can find out how to do it properly. Right, so I've got another dash pot. I've got a few of these that aren't really any use on carbs anymore, but I can use them as things for powder coating. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this through the bead blaster to completely bead blast it. Then I'm going to rub it over with acetone. Then I'm going to put it in the oven and do a thing called degassing, which will give it an opportunity to get rid of all of the bits and pieces that might be on it. Then I'm going to do the powder coating. When I powder coat it, I'm only going to put a very small amount of product on it, because I think when I did those two, I did too much powder coating. I think I put too much on. Then I'm going to put it in the oven and I'm going to bake it for 180 degrees. I'm going to leave it in there for about half an hour. I'm going to see what happens, and then we'll see what it looks like when it's finished compared to them. I'm going to use a different colour as well, just in case the problem is the paint, the powder. So I'm going to use a different colour, and then we'll be able to compare the two together and see if I've made any headway. So stay tuned. powdercoatingathome.com. So there we go. We've now just bead blasted the whole thing. That way then there's no dirt or any contaminants on it. But the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to wipe it over with acetone. That gets rid of any issues with any other types of products that are on the face. And then I'm going to put it in the oven for 10 minutes at 180 to degas it. Then we're going to powder coat it. So I've got this acetone. Now the thing is, watch out lads, because it removes artificial nails. So be really careful if you're using this and you've just had your nails done, because it'll make a complete nightmare. So all I'm going to do, little bit on a rag, and just wipe the item over just to make sure it's completely clear, and then into the oven. Oven is on, temperature about 170, 180, multi grill, so it's up and bottom temperature. I've put it on for 10 minutes to warm up, but I've also got an infrared thermometer, so I can point that at the product and it tells me the temperature it's at. So I want this to be at 180, so I can point it at that when it's in the oven to find out what temperature it is. 180. Now the degassing, I'm going to allow it to be inside the oven for a 10-minute period at 180. That degasses it. Then after that I'm going to take it out and powder coat it. So the item is now in the oven, receiving its degassing. With my thermometer, I can aim it and it shows me that currently it's at 46 degrees. So it's only at 46 degrees. So you would have thought it would have been more than that. So what I've done now, I've put some gold powder in this time. I'm going to paint it gold. Got it all set up. There's the item. The item has been bead blasted, acetoned and degassed. It's still quite warm, which should hopefully help the application of the powder. So the next thing I'm going to do is apply powder, put it in the oven and cure it. Let's see what happens. Powder has been applied, so now I'm going to put it in the oven. Let's see what happens after about half an hour. And then the end result is finished. It's a bit better than the blue one, I think. So I've probably learnt that you have to be quite fastidious about your preparation. And there you go, I went on to do a brake caliper. It's the first bit of powder coating I've done on a brake caliper, and it looks absolutely brilliant. I haven't taken it apart yet and build it up, but what a beautiful finish. Powder coating is, you do have to be really careful, you do have to be Mr. Fastidious, but yeah, powder coating at home, take your time, do it right, and you can get beautiful results. Beautiful. So there you go, that's the powder coating video. And yeah, I think that like everything, you can see that if you spend a bit of time and you sort of work your way through it, you can end up with brilliant results. Hope you found that useful, and take care, see you soon, and bye.